My seminary professor used to say that there's really no such thing as stupid questions, but stupid people. And I know that sounds a bit harsh and a harsh way of putting it, but there's some truth to that. Rarely do we really see that there are stupid questions. Psychologists claim that the process of asking questions is a method of bettering ourselves. They say that with every question, the human mind is subconsciously attempting to perfect itself through knowledge. Is this not what we were created to do before sin entered our lives? Was it not our own purpose where we were originally created to dwell with God? In order to do that, don't we have to be perfected? In other words, to satisfy our desire for perfection, knowledge must be continued and questions must be asked. So therefore, the questions that we ask, we're striving to ask, must be full of purpose and power. Questions that strive to further our knowledge and the knowledge of our students. Each question should be able to lead our students to the realization that perfection cannot be attained through knowledge, but through Christ alone. However, asking good questions as a small group leader, a Sunday school leader, can be difficult. A lot of times we put emphasis on asking the right question instead of asking good questions. And when we do that, we tend to miss the original intention of asking the question in the first place, to gain the beneficial response. So I want to provide you with some ways to tell the difference between the two and to help avoid making this mistake. First, a good question leaves room for students to answer in different ways that will pertain to the lives they are living at the moment, instead of narrowing the answer to one or two possible responses. Second, if the question can be answered with a simple yes or no, then the students won't really be pushed to think from a different perspective. The longer it takes for a student to respond, the more likely they will be able to remember how they answered it and why the question was asked to begin with. Third, a good question will not only make a student ponder it, but it will also force them to think about it as well. Fourth, when it comes to God and questions, always make sure you're asking Him questions, not questioning Him and who He is, His nature, or His attributes. And fifth, if the question is answered through Christ, the end goal is Christ. Then you know it's a good one. Christ should always be the center and the point of a good question. So if maybe you're still sitting there thinking about, hey, why is questions really that important to me as a student ministry leader? Why are questions really important at all? I want you to think about the words that Jesus gave in Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 through 8, which says, "Ask, and it would be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks, receives, and the one who seeks, finds, and to the one who knocks, it will be open." Just ask, seek, and knock. So here is Jesus Himself commanding us as believers to seek the truth that questions provide. He tells us, ask, seek, and knock. He calls us to action instead of mere acceptance. So good questions lead to answers. And these answers ultimately should lead us to Christ. For He is the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father except through Him.